Hey everybody, welcome to another review, and this is a review of Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now, a lot happens in this movie. I saw this movie on the last day of 2015. So I saw this on December 31st, but it is now January 16th, and I'm finally going to do the review on it. I waited many days for a lot of people to actually finally see the movie that have not seen the movie before. And now that all you guys have seen this movie, now I am more free to talk about it, because all you guys know what happened, and, now all you guys might want to know my opinion. So, okay, here we go at it. Basically, Star Wars Force Awakens is, I think it was a really good movie. There's a lot of epic parts in it. How at the start, that one stormtrooper guy you see, he doesn't like killing people. He doesn't want to kill anybody. And then he sees one of his friends die. He's not happy about that. The friend wipes their blood off, puts it on his helmet, and that guy just doesn't want to kill anybody. That stormtrooper. Well, that stormtrooper ends up being the man with the blue lightsaber you see right there, Finn. The guy in the corner, Finn with the blue lightsaber. And that's actually Luke's lightsaber. Now, I don't not remember all the characters' names, but I kind of remember what goes on, okay? So, Rey is the only girl on this thing. Well, not the only girl, Princess Leia is there too, with her practically unmovable face. And Rey is just working on this planet. Yeah, I forget what it's called now. But she just makes stuff, sells it, gets some food, goes back to where she lives, which is practically a dump. I mean, it's almost literally a dump. She's living inside like a AT-AT. No, it wasn't an AT-AT. She's living inside some thing that was in either Star Wars episode 4, 5, or 6. But she's living in something from one of those Star Wars movies. And, eventually she meets this droid BB-8 who actually has a part of a secret map to find Luke Skywalker, because Luke Skywalker went in the hiding. So BB-8 has part of this map. And, this guy that I do not remember the name of, BB-8 was his droid, and he gave BB-8 the, card thing. This map, so BB-8 could go in the hiding. And it went well for a huge part of the movie. And then eventually he found Rey. Rey didn't really want anything to do with him, but then she started protecting him. Because that big seller guy would have given her a lot of food and stuff. But she's like, no. So then she started liking BB-8. And, from there, that went pretty good. And BB-8 had a big role in this movie than R2-D2 had in any movie. So, congrats to BB-8. But, definitely major highlight of the movie is when Finn and that captain guy meet. Because that captain guy, he gets locked aboard a ship. Kylo Ren asked where that map is, and he uses a mind trick on him. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, Kylo Ren is in that upper left corner. And I feel like you guys should know this, but if you don't, if you haven't seen it, and you have no plans on seeing the movie, and you just want to hear about it, then there you go. And, yeah. Kylo Ren is in no relation to Darth Vader. Kylo Ren is Han Solo's son, and yeah, and Han Solo and Princess Leia get together, and then have Kylo Ren. And Kylo Ren went evil. His name used to be Ben Solo, but now it's Kylo Ren. Again, I would never want to be named Ben Solo either, so pretty nice name choice. And I gotta name one of my kids Kylo. That would be nice. It just seems like a pretty cool name. But, he holds up Darth Vader's mask, and apparently he doesn't even know that Darth Vader turned good. He doesn't know that. He just thinks that he was just killed by Luke, and that's it. He doesn't know the truth. And there's this huge guy, which is apparently the boss of, the boss of Kylo Ren, and he was also the boss of Emperor Palpatine. So Emperor Palpatine, you might have thought, oh man, he created the Empire and the Sith and all that. No, there's a guy that created Palpatine and allowed him to do all this. And I don't remember that guy's name. He's just this big, huge guy. And he doesn't really play that big of a role in the movie. But now that we know he exists, he was talked about in Revenge of the Sith. So this is him. This is the guy. This is the guy that they've been talking about. And, I feel like it always led to there was going to be more movies after Revenge of the Sith. But, it was never a right-on clue. It's just something we figured could have happened. Yeah, so eventually Rey and Finn, they gotta get out of this fight. They gotta run away. Actually, well, before I mention that fight, Finn and, that guy that was on BB-8, they crashed on a planet. Finn thought that he was dead. Because, he wasn't anywhere around. The ship was in like a hole and it was sinking, and then eventually the ship just completely sunk under, and Finn thought that guy was gone, and he just took his jacket, and Finn looks way better in that jacket. I'm just telling you. But I still don't know how that guy made it alive, because eventually, later in the movie, and I'll get to this later in this review, later in the movie, you see that guy, and he's going to be flying an X-Wing. I don't know if they're still called X-Wings, I don't quite remember. I don't remember every detail about the movie because I waited so long to do the review, but I remember enough of the movie. So then, eventually, Rey and Finn get into this fight, and, BB-8 thinks that he's a bad guy. I mean, he technically was, because he used to be a stormtrooper, but he helped that guy escape. And they made it to the same planet that Rey was on, and the one guy put in Finn's mind, that guy died because he didn't see him anywhere, and he thought he was still on the ship. So yeah, so then Rey and him had a fight. Rey thought that he was a bad guy, and then like stormtroopers showed up, I think, and they tried to get away from them. So eventually they took the Millennium Falcon, which, yes, was parked around there. They took the Millennium Falcon, and you would think, oh, sure, Han Solo and Chewbacca's on there. I thought they would be sleeping on the ship, to be frankly honest, but nope. All those guys in that, like, village area took the ship, and the guy that always gave people food, he apparently, like, stole the ship, and then, yeah. That was pretty bad. So then they got on the Millennium Falcon, they flew, they went into space. That was pretty interesting. But then a ship, pulled them into it. And they were thinking that it was going to be like more of the first order. And the First Order is the new name for the Empire. And the Empire was the new name for the Sith. So, yeah. So they thought that's who pulled them in. Well, it was actually Han Solo and Chewbacca who pulled them in, which we see. So that was pretty cool. And they finally board the ship thinking it's theirs. And they had to try to release toxic gases to try to, because they thought they were stormtroopers and they were trying to kill them. But that's not what happened. It was Han Solo and Chewbacca. I don't know how it didn't infect them at all. But yeah. So Han Solo and Chewbacca found Rey and Finn in a hole. Yep, in BB-8. And then they told Han Solo and Chewbacca the whole entire mission. And, they got the thing up and running. And it went pretty well, except for the fact that Han Solo had, like, some monsters aboard. That big ship thing that he, when he abducted. The ship that he used to abduct the Millennium Falcon had some, like, monster things aboard. And then these guys came aboard, two groups of guys who were promised something from Han Solo. and apparently they were just battled against, and they all eventually died because a lot of them were eaten by those monsters and, shot by Han Solo and Chewbacca. Han Solo even said it, I'm like, for the first time ever, Han Solo said that Chewbacca's weapon is amazing. Which is pretty unbelievable. Chewbacca's weapon was always lame until this movie. Like, it was super, super lame. It was just a crossbow, but now it's like an ion crossbow, which makes it way cooler than it really should be. But yeah, there's that. And I'm not even near done with this movie. Explaining this movie at all. So all that stuff happens, and then there's this big gap here, and, Okay, eventually they meet this woman, which is tiny, and, has kind of glasses. And she's an alien. She's like a yellow, tiny alien. I can't really explain her. She's not in this picture, so, yeah. She's not in this picture, so that's not really going to be helpful. But, she definitely played a big role in this movie. I mean, it wasn't really like the biggest role, but it was a good enough role to really make a difference. I mean, I definitely think that difference was good. Definitely think that. Because you never know what's going to happen. So they met her. The only really important part about that is, well, they were trying to return them to, like, the First Order base. Not First Order base. The Republic base. I forget what the Republic's called now. I'm pretty sure the name has changed. They were trying to get a BB-8 to there. And of course at the end of the movie they did. But, yeah. So... trying to think about what... oh yeah. So Rey goes and sees this, like, secret staircase. Her and BB-8 go down them. And, I shouldn't forget that Finn was gonna go off with, like, 2 random alien guys and go back to space. And, like, completely abandon this whole thing, because he didn't want to deal with it anymore. But then, he changed his mind eventually. When he saw... Because he saw Rey get carried off by Kylo Ren and some stormtroopers. Eventually. And, that made him just change his mind. He went back fighting for this thing. But, yeah. So Rey saw, went downstairs. She opened this chest. And inside was Luke Skywalker / Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. She touched it. Now, it was calling for her. She heard it. So the lightsaber actually was calling for her. And, that was pretty cool. And, she touched it, and she saw all these images happen. She saw, like, a bunch of stuff that Luke went through. She saw a lot of the past. I forget if she saw some of the future or not. But she saw a lot, and she's like, no, I'm not touching that thing. And then that yellow one comes down and says stuff to her, and, eventually, Finn eventually gets hold of the lightsaber. I forget how. He just does. Actually, I think... I don't remember. But yeah, I would need to definitely see this movie again to definitely know a lot more about it, because I'm missing a lot of details, and there's still a lot more for me to say. So, yeah. Definitely... when Rey was carried off by Kylo Ren and the Stormtroopers, eventually they took her into space. Kylo Ren put her in this chair, and he was thinking that, that they didn't need... He was thinking that they didn't need BB-8, they just needed her. So then he tried to read her mind, with his powers. And, she was way stronger than he was. He could not get in there, because she was born to be a Jedi. She didn't need any training. She was better than any Jedi ever. And I'm talking ever. Now you think like Anakin was awesome. Well, no. No, not compared to Rey. Rey was awesome. If you combine every single Jedi, you get her. because she was more powerful than anybody. I'm not even exaggerating this. Literally, she needed no training. She had mind powers that were way more powerful than they should have been. So then she used a Jedi mind trick on a stormtrooper to take her out of the chair and to leave the door open and then drop his weapon. And, that worked. She was pretty powerful. She had power. So now I forget what she was doing next. But Han Solo and Chewbacca went to save her, and then Finn came back. And he had the lightsaber, I believe. And all this happened on that because Kylo Ren and in the First Order, they all had this gigantic planet, and it was like the Death Star, but it was like 80 Death Stars in size. 80 Death Stars in size. That's pretty huge, isn't it? So they had this battle and all this on this, kind of huge planet, Death Star thing. And then, there's a bridge, and Kylo Ren is on this bridge, and Han Solo's on the other end of this bridge. Kylo Ren's just kind of in, like, the middle. And, before all this happened, Princess Leia told Han Solo to take our son home. Bring our son home. That's what she told him. I left that part out by accident. Because they went to all the Republic before all this happened. So, yeah. And that didn't really go well, huh? You think that Kylo Ren is going to be good and, like, give up his lightsaber. Kylo Ren had one ugly face, I gotta say that. Because they took off his mask when they had Rey in that chair. So, yeah. Kylo Ren was one ugly dude. And he was acting like he was going to give up the lightsaber to Solo. And you were thinking, oh my god, he's going to turn good. This is going to be good. And he just does the unthinkable. He killed Han Solo. He killed Han Solo. He stuck the lightsaber right through him. And Han Solo reached up, felt Kylo Ren's face last time, fell off the bridge. And he was dead. That was it for Han Solo. Definitely very good. I liked Han Solo. I never liked Han Solo until this movie. So it's definitely got me feeling a lot more for Han Solo. It's just because Harrison Ford didn't want to be in any of the Star Wars movies. That's the reason why they had Solo die. So then they had to try to blow this planet up, because there's always a way to blow these things up. Han Solo said that before his death. But yeah, there's always a way to blow these things up. So eventually they found a way to blow it up, but not before the huge Jedi battle that went down between Finn and Kylo Ren. Now let me tell you this: Finn is not a Jedi. Rey is a Jedi. So Finn was practically useless. He barely did anything. Eventually he got sliced across the back, and he kind of just went down. And then Kylo Ren was trying to use the Force to get the lightsaber out of the stone, like Luke did in The Empire Strikes Back. But that didn't quite work. Rey was way stronger. She got that lightsaber. They had an epic battle. That was pretty cool. Oh. Before I get to this battle, I left out the part, because I keep forgetting parts, where Chewbacca avenged Han Solo. Because Han Solo and, before that bridge stuff happened, Han Solo and Chewbacca set a bunch of bombs all over that bridge room. And, yeah. Chewbacca just set off all those bombs and then shot Kylo Ren in the leg or rib. I'm pretty sure it was a rib, actually. And then, yeah. So then we get this huge Jedi battle. Kylo Ren's already wounded. Rey is just powerful, way more powerful than Kylo Ren. I don't know, the Sith always usually are more powerful, so I guess this kind of balances out. If that big guy's ever in a battle, then boy, Rey is going to be dead. And I'm pretty sure they're actually going to end up having Rey die. I don't know. Well, Finn's going to die. Finn's going to die. I'm sure Leia's going to die at one point, too. And because they're making 2 more Star Wars movies after this one, so that's going to be pretty good. So yeah, they have this big planet fight, They both get struck by lightsabers. And in any other Star Wars movie, Kylo Ren would have died if that lightsaber slammed him in the face, which it did. Now, the lightsaber chopped him right in the face, and then, like, the planet just cracked in half and separated them two. And a lot of people are confused. Did he die or not? No. He made it off the planet before it blew up, because that big guy said to the silver stormtrooper, which is right underneath Han Solo in this picture, it's time to bring him in for his final training. Or he said it to somebody. It's time to bring Kylo Ren in for his final training. So Kylo Ren's not dead. Kylo Ren is not dead. He made it off the planet. But, you know, Finn had to be put in, like, a medical bed, you know, once they got off the planet and they settled and everything. Rey kissed him on the head, walked away, and, you know, that was the end of the movie. Oh, actually, no, it wasn't. I take that back. I gotta say this one more thing. R2-D2 finally, you know, turned back on, and R2-D2 had every single part of the map except the part that BB-8 had. What a coincidence. They connected the maps. They found Luke Skywalker. Rey went to Luke Skywalker, and they just looked at each other. End of the movie. Then you hear the music. So, thanks for watching, guys. This is the longest review I've ever done. Probably ever. Movie reviews are definitely always going to be long reviews, because you got to see so much about the movie, so much about what happened. And, man, it's hard to remember. It's hard to, you know, like, I don't remember names of people, and that's really it. I literally remember the whole entire movie. So, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please make sure to like, and if you haven't seen Star Wars, go see it, because I just, like, said everything that happened. And see it for yourself. See the things I left out that I don't remember what I left out. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like. I'll see you in the next video. Next video, I'm reviewing this microphone that I'm using.